The doorbell chimed, a sound so ordinary it shouldn't have made my heart lurch. But it did. I stood frozen in the kitchen, coffee mug burning my palm, staring at the front door as if it might explode. 21 years had passed since Sarah walked out, leaving me and our 2 kids with nothing but a scribbled note and a half-empty closet. Now someone was at my door, and the air felt wrong, thick, like the moment before a storm breaks. I set the mug down, the ceramic clinking too loudly against the counter, and forced my legs to move. The living room smelled of last night's pizza, the kids' laughter still lingering in the corners from their weekend visit. At 48, I'd grown used to the quiet of this house, a small brick rancher in suburban Ohio, its walls heavy with memories I'd tried to paint over. The doorbell rang again, insistent, and my chest tightened. I opened the door, and there she was, Sarah. Her face, once so familiar, now carried lines of time, her auburn hair streaked with gray. Her eyes, though, those green eyes that used to pin me in place, hadn't changed. They were wide, searching, and something else, afraid. "Mark," she said, her voice a ghost of itself, "I didn't know if you'd still be here." I couldn't speak. My throat burned, words trapped behind a wall of shock and something darker, something that tasted like betrayal reheated after 2 decades. She stood there, clutching a worn purse, her coat too thin for the October chill. Behind her, the street was quiet, the maple trees shedding red leaves like old regrets. "What do you want?" I finally managed, my voice low, rougher than I meant. She flinched just slightly, but enough to notice. "Can I come in? Please. I need to talk." I wanted to slam the door, to erase her from my doorstep like I'd tried to erase her from my life. But my hand betrayed me, pulling the door wider. She stepped inside, her boots leaving faint dirt marks on the hardwood. The house felt smaller with her in it, the air heavier. I led her to the living room, where she sat on the edge of the couch, her fingers twisting the strap of her purse. 21 years ago, Sarah had been my world. We'd met in college, her laugh bright enough to drown out my doubts. We married young, had Emma at 24, then Jack 2 years later. Life was messy but good, until it wasn't. I'd noticed her pulling away, the late nights at work, the way her smile never quite reached her eyes anymore. I told myself it was stress, that she was tired. I ignored the perfume on her scarf, the one that wasn't hers. I rationalized the way she'd check her phone, her thumbs flying over the screen, then lock it when I walked into the room. Denial is a powerful drug. "I'm sorry," she said now, her voice breaking the silence. "I know that's not enough, but I need to start there." I sat across from her, the coffee table a flimsy barrier between us. "Sorry for what, Sarah? For leaving? For choosing him? For not even saying goodbye to your own kids?" Her eyes dropped to her hands, and I saw the tremble in her fingers. "I didn't choose him, Mark. Not the way you think." "Then explain it," I said, my voice sharp enough to cut through the haze of years. "Because all I know is you left us. You left Emma crying in her crib, Jack asking why Mommy wasn't coming home. You left me to pick up the pieces while you ran off with some guy from your office." Her head snapped up, eyes flashing. "It wasn't like that. I was drowning, Mark. You didn't see it. You didn't want to see it." I leaned forward, my hands gripping the arms of the chair. "Don't put this on me. I worked 60-hour weeks to keep us afloat. I was there every night, reading to the kids, changing diapers. Where were you?" She stood, pacing to the window, her silhouette framed against the fading light. "I was lost," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "I didn't know who I was anymore. Mother, wife, it swallowed me whole. When David came along, he saw me. Not the mom, not the wife. Just me." The name David hit like a fist to the gut. I'd found out about him weeks after she left, piecing it together from her coworkers' pitying glances and a stray email I wasn't meant to see. He was her boss, charming, older, with a smile that promised things I couldn't. I'd imagined confronting him, breaking his jaw, but he was gone too. Vanished with her into a life I wasn't invited to. "You didn't just leave me," I said, standing now, my voice rising. "You left Emma and Jack. They were babies, Sarah. They needed you." "I know," she cried, turning to face me, tears streaming down her cheeks. "You think I don't carry that every day? I thought I'd come back." I thought I'd fix myself and come back. But I couldn't. David. He wasn't what I thought. He wasn't you. The room spun. I gripped the back of the chair, my knuckles white. What are you saying? She took a step closer, her eyes pleading. He controlled everything. The money, the house, where I went. I didn't see it at first. I was so desperate to feel alive again, I didn't see the cage closing. By the time I did, I was too ashamed to come back. I thought you and the kids were better off without me. I wanted to scream, to shake her, to demand why she hadn't fought harder. But her words cracked something open inside me, a flood of memories. Her laughter at our wedding, the way she'd sing to Emma, off-key but tender. I'd loved her so fiercely it hurt. And that love had curdled into something jagged when she left. Now here she was, broken in a way I hadn't expected. Why now? I asked, my voice softer, almost afraid of the answer. She reached into her purse, pulling out a folded letter, its edges worn. This came last month. From Emma. My heart stopped. Emma, now 25, a teacher with her mother's green eyes, had never spoken of Sarah without pain. Jack, at 23, barely mentioned her at all. What does it say? Sarah's voice trembled as she read. She found me. She's getting married. She wants me to come. But only if you're okay with it. The words hung in the air, heavy as the years between us. I thought of Emma, her strength, her forgiveness. A forgiveness I wasn't sure I could match. I thought of Jack, who still carried the weight of abandonment in his quiet moments. And I thought of myself, the man who'd rebuilt a life on the ruins Sarah left behind. I don't know if I can do that, I said, my voice barely audible. I don't know if I can let you back in, even for her. Sarah nodded, tears falling freely now. I don't expect you to, but I had to try. For her. For Jack. For the girl I used to be. The one who loved you. She turned to leave, her hand on the doorknob. When I spoke. Wait. I didn't know why I said it. Only that the thought of her disappearing again felt like losing something I hadn't realized I still held. Emma deserves to decide for herself. But if you hurt her again, Sarah, I swear. I won't, she whispered, her eyes meeting mine, raw and unguarded. I promise. The door closed behind her, and I sank to the floor, the weight of 21 years pressing down. Outside, the wind carried the last of the maple leaves away, and I wondered if some wounds could ever heal, or if they were meant to stay open, a reminder of love's cost.